Okay, good morning guys. Welcome to YS Kong Driving, and it's a beautiful morning, and what we're doing is we are in this very sporty looking Mazda 2 hatchback, and this is the 1.5, yeah, and this is probably the most well appointed and definitely the most fun B segment hatchback, yeah, that you can have. So this car has got a 1.5 liter engine, 114 horsepower or 118 PS, 149 Newton meters of torque, front wheel drive. And what's so good about this is also it's got a 6-speed automatic gearbox with paddle shifters, okay? A steering wheel that is adjustable for both reach and rake, and also seats that are adjustable for fore and aft with the seat back adjustable and also height adjustable, so you can get yourself a very good sitting position in the car. And so now we are just going to leave Ulu Yam, and we're going to try to take the road up to Genting by the Ulu Yam way. Of course we won't go all the way. And also suspension is McPherson strut in the front and a torsion beam at the back, but handling of the car is okay lah, you know, for a B segment car. Most of the cars have torsion beams anyway, and basically the same type of setup. 16-inch wheels help a little bit, but overall the shape of the car is quite sporty, and the seats hold you quite well. They are contoured, and of course they are leather, yeah. You get a leather wrap steering wheel, and on top of that you get your ABS, your EBD, your hill start assist, and also your traction control and electronic stability control, ESP. So this car is very well appointed. You get soft touch fabrics, and also this actually is a bit of leather in the front, so everything is very nice. Of course it comes at a price. I think this is possibly one of the most highly priced or rather higher priced B segment, because it's also CBU, yeah. This car is CBU Thailand, so it attracts certain duties that need to be paid, and that's why and because of the high specs, you have to pay a bit more for this car. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn right, and we're going to go up the hill, and we're going to do it in the wet. So we have to be a bit careful. So we can turn this into another wet driving lesson, and here we go. Well, so far this car has been fun. There were two other cars on the road. Couldn't catch them because they were much bigger capacity. Both were turbocharged. This is just a 1.5, yeah, NA engine. Yeah, but having said that, for 1.5 liter engine, it has very good power, and also the response is very good because it has direct injection. So these engines run very well, and they are very powerful, and of course it's also got variable valve timing, and so this is one of the better engines in the segment. So what you have is an engine that's good power, then you have a 6-speed automatic gearbox with a sport mode, and also paddle shifters with manual shift. What more could you want, man? So this is a car that enthusiasts would like to have, or rather should have, okay? So now we are still running on sport mode, and we are running on the paddle shifters in manual. So we are going up the hill, and this is the start of the run. The rain has stopped, but the road is still wet, so we have to be careful because otherwise understeer will get the better of you. So how does the car handle? It handles pretty good. Of course, in the wet, front wheel drive always has a bit of an advantage, yeah? And of course, all wheel drive is the best in the wet. But anyway, this is the B segment hatchback, and the most sporty one of all, the most fun of all, I think. So you come to a sharp bend, you shift down, shift the weight to the front by braking a bit, and ease your way through the corner. Now, one of the most common faults of people driving in corners is they turn too early. So if you turn too early, you end up on the wrong side of the track. And the reason they do that is because they're afraid the car will fly off the road. So anyway, if you're afraid the car is going to fly off the road, then what you have to do is actually slow down a little bit more, and then you feed the steering into the corner one step at a time. As the corner comes in, you feed the steering, yeah? So also, if you turn the steering too harshly, it can also cause the car to understeer or throw the car off balance, and that will cause you more trouble. And always shift down, brake and shift down before the corner, especially when it's wet. So this engine red lines at 6,005. We are pulling at about 5,005 and shifting. Now that's shifting. Fourth gear. We're in fifth gear. We shifted at 5,000 RPM. And in top gear, this car pulls about 44 or 45 kilometers per 1,000 RPM. So, oh, tire mark. Somebody went off the road here. Wow. It wasn't today. This must have been the one last week. That was a really bad sideways, man. Luckily, there's no oncoming. So these corners here can be very deceptive, especially to people who are not very familiar with the road and also not very familiar with the car. And when you have two things that are not familiar, that's when you have problem. Okay, getting a bit drier, but of course the surface is still wet. Shift down, just to be sure, then you power. So anytime that you are not sure, shift down one gear or two, then ease the throttle as you go in. So some people only start throttling after the corner. Well, that's not exactly correct. You have to actually have some positive throttle on the car at all times, especially going into the corner, yeah? So that will help you with more traction. So there's a dog on the road. Okay, so never turn the steering more than necessary. Take the corner, turn the steering as the corner pans out. And never be afraid to go a bit slower if you're not sure. See, if you can't see the corner, slow down a bit, feel your car and go in. Every time you brake, you're actually transferring weight to the front, and that helps. We are still in third gear. Shifted at 6,000 to fourth. Back to third. Second is optional. That's to keep you on the ball so that you can change rev out and change gears. This is the tightening apex. Then it opens up. Shifted the third by itself, then I shifted it back to second. Now it's back on third, come back to second. There are no cars behind us, yeah? So I have all of 2 lanes. Another tightening corner. Very near the point where we have to turn back. There's oncoming traffic, so you have to only use 1 lane, yeah? Use your lane. Okay, here we are at the U-turn point. Okay, here we go. So many tightening apexes, so you have to be very careful on this road, not to fly off the road, yeah? another tightening bend. These are 60 series tires, yeah? Well, 50 series tires might help a little bit, but they're 16-inch. Yeah, this one can be quite scary, yeah? That's a wild boar. Here's another one that tightens up and is sharp at the end of a long straight. Judicious use of gears is very, very important. Helps you to maintain positive traction. Okay guys, we are back in Ulu Yam, and because it's raining, we're going to take a slow drive back to civilization. I think it's time for a bit of water, yeah? That was quite a spirited drive, and of course, unlike the other side of Genting, we have to be a bit more careful because there is always oncoming traffic, yeah? And as I said before in a previous drive, there is a lot of, or rather there are a lot of long straights with sharp turns at the end of the straight, and also many of the corners are tightening radius. So therefore, you have to be very, very careful if you're driving on this road. And if you want to drive, please go slow and have fun. Yeah, don't make it a weekend of problem. Make it a weekend of fun. Okay, so here's my overall wrap up of this car. Okay, I was right. This is probably the most fun B segment car you can buy. Of course, it comes at a price, yeah, it's 103,600. And if you want the Soul Red, the red color, you got to pay another 1,000 ringgit more to get that color. Now, this car, engine power is only a 1.5, but amongst the 1.5, this is one of the best engines, yeah. With 118 PS, is in the ballpark of all the others in the category, let's say. And some are lower, a couple are higher, but it's all there. And of course, the most fun part of the car is the 6-speed auto. Yeah, I wish there was a 6-speed manual, but unfortunately, manuals are hard to find. So this is the next best thing. Okay. And because it's got a 6-speed manual, it doesn't have any rubber band effect. So you can shift down and shift up. And there are 6 gears, so the ratios are quite close, so you can have fun. And of course, you have paddle shifters. Okay, this makes this car have all the ingredients that you want. Yeah, and don't forget, the steering has adjustment for reach and rake, and seat adjustment also includes height, and so therefore it's very easy to find yourself a good sitting position driving this car. The steering is nice and small with leather bound, and meters, the most important thing you see is the rev counter, and that's what drivers want to see. You want to see the engine RPM. The speedometer is a digital readout beside it, but the most important, of course, is right in the center, the tacho. And okay, what all this adds up to is a car that you can really enjoy driving. Now, there are a few things that are not up to my expectation, and one would be the auto headlights. There's no auto headlight, but there is a switch. Of course, you have to turn them on normally, yeah. But that's about it lah. The rest of the stuff, there's not much to complain about. Oh, I forgot. Now I'm putting it back into auto. We're gonna take a leisurely drive, so it's gonna be in auto. So other than that, the car handles quite well as you can expect for a very base car. Yeah, this is obviously a compromise between comfort and handling, because it has 60 series tires, which considered in today's market or environment is considered like balloons already. Yeah, whereas 50 or 45 series tires would give it much better grip. But of course, then the rolling circumference and all will change. But for a standard car, this handling is quite okay. So I suppose that just about wraps it up. Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe or share with your friends if you like our videos. We need all the subscribers we can get. Alright, then till we meet again. Bye bye.